project was awarded at the cost of 6.7 billion. And I can say boldly that no kobo is remaining. We've paid the contractor completely. If there's one problem this administration has, is debt. Most of the projects that are being commissioned, they are coming for their balance payment, and it's running in millions and billions. I've said I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk because I am part of that system. But when you keep pushing me to talk, I will say.
The governor said the Aleto-Ebubuetio road serves as an alternative to the bad section of the East-West road.
With deep sorrow in our hearts but total submission to the will of
because of the deplorable state of the East-West Road. This road takes you off the East-West Road and you join the section of the East-West Road that is good. What we're doing today, is it not a help to the federal government? This government has interest and has the support and is doing everything to make the federal government succeed. So when people come out and say some funny thing, I start laughing. It is not social media. We're talking about action. Genuine actions that makes positive impacts in the life. And I can assure you that we are going to come back and do more projects for the good people of Eleme.
Earlier, Abia State Governor Alex Oti thanked Governor Fubara for his achievements since he assumed office.
I want to thank him for remembering this community. I want to thank him for remembering from where he came. It is very easy not to remember, but he remembered and came back. God will continue to bless you. I want to also congratulate him for the great job he's doing in River State. I've always said that leadership is service. Anytime leadership departs from service, then you are getting it wrong. And service should be service to the people, not service to a very few interests. Anytime you are serving few people rather than the majority, you need to go and look at yourself again.
Moving on, a constitutional lawyer, Richard Wokocha, says as the former accountant general of the state, Governor Fubara may have played some official role in some of the financial dealings in the past administration. Professor Wokocha, a lecturer at the Department of Public Law, Rivers State University, said this to correspondent Emeka Otuka while reacting to the plan by Governor Fubara to probe the 8 years administration of Nyesom Wike. Professor Wokocha said the outcome of the probe may be bizarre.
I think it can go on successfully, but I'm just thinking when it gets to the financial side, I'm thinking we may have some absurd results because the chief accountant must play some roles in some of those financial dealings of the last government. So if it shows that actions that we are taking with that, then it means it's putting him on a clean slate. Remember the case that has always been complained of that prevents EFCC and others from investigating the actions of the state.
Meanwhile, the chieftain of the APC in Rivers State, Darlington Nwauju, says Governor Fubara must ensure that members of the probe panel to investigate the previous administration must be objective, independent-minded, and have the relevant skills to handle such assignments. Mr. Nwauju spoke with correspondent Soibi Oruwari.
The audit of governance must focus on key parameters such as transparency and disclosure during the period under review. Most importantly, compliance with relevant laws and regulations within the period under review. And so we want to advise that persons to be considered for membership of such a sensitive panel must not have any political strings or attachments.
In another development, the socio-political group Rivers Ijaw Integrity Front is challenging the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, to show proof of attracting direct foreign investment into the state and improving the economy since he assumed office. The president of Rivers Ijaw Integrity Front, Bob Buroma, in a communique alleged that Governor Fubara has a penchant for impunity and unguarded utterances which is not befitting of the office of a governor. The communique read by the spokesman of the group, Kingsley Kiroma, said that Rivers State, which was once a model for peace and security to other states, is now a laughing stock due to the unpalatable stories from the states.
Sadly, the governor who is promoting the current ethnic sentiments in the state was given the mandate by the good people of Rivers State under the solemn directive of Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike. Thus, his emergence is not an Ijaw affair. May we also state very clearly that the Ijaws have been clamoring to occupy the brick house and will not want to give it away after 4 years, as we earnestly desire a second term. So we are condemning in very strong terms the ploy to destroy the alliance we need from other ethnic groups to actualize this dream.
The group, while thanking and pledging its support to the immediate past governor and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for the various appointments he offered Rivers Ijaw's sons and daughters, called on Governor Fubara to respect the peace deal brokered by the presidency.
We therefore call on Sir Siminalayi Fubara to desist forthwith from acts capable of causing political crisis, which consequently will undermine the rapid economic and infrastructural growth the state experienced in the immediate past administration.
In other news, motorists and passengers in Port Harcourt are expressing their concern over the recent hike in the price of petrol. Speaking with our correspondent, the respondent said the hike is causing friction between the drivers and passengers.
The fuel scarcity in Port Harcourt, it's not as high as other states. It's not like we are comfortable with it. There's nothing we the masses can do. All we need to do is to pray for a better Nigeria. I bought yesterday 800. I went to Owerri last week. I bought 850. Some places they sell 900.
It's not good that the fuel price is very high and we have fuel scarcity here. So I think that the government should look into it.
Dangote refinery at Eleme, all these are audio. We are not seeing any result. I remember buying fuel when they increased fuel to 260, 280, we are complaining.
Buy fuel at 800, 900 naira per liter today. It's unbelievable.
They should go back to normal to collect the normal price that they were collecting before.
Can't just drive anyhow. I have to calculate myself.
Our correspondent who visited some petrol stations along Rumudara, Rumokoro and Rumusi axis reports that only a few petrol stations were open while others were closed due to lack of fuel. Currently, the price of fuel in Port Harcourt ranges between 780 naira and 900 naira per litre. Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, has assured Nigerians that depot owners and IPMAN members will not shut down the supply of fuel. Mr. Ahmed said this after a meeting between the authority and major oil marketers. He said his agency has started the process of paying the debt owed to the depot owners who with verified documents. Still to come, organized labor suspends protests over electricity tariff increase. Please do stay tuned. Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. The chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress NLC in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, says the nationwide protest over electricity tariff increase has been suspended. Mr. Alex Agwanwo said the suspension follows engagement with the leadership of organized labour and the federal government. Agwanwo told correspondent Subi Oruwari that the outcome of the continued discussion with them will determine their next line of action.
The bill has been suspended due to an engagement between the federal government and the leadership of NSC and TUC. Yesterday, they have been called for a meeting and government is doing the policy. Based on that, the strike was suspended pending the outcome of the conclusion of the meeting. Yeah, because we're asking for the reversal. So I think that meeting, so the government have also accepted to look into the reversal. Why we suspended action? Because all stakeholders have to be involved. They have to invite the disco companies, like everybody have to be on the table and have an agreement that that policy should be reversed. I think it's based on that we suspend the action.
Meanwhile, our correspondent to monitor the activities of the PHED office reports that workers have started assessing their offices. Recall that yesterday members of organized labor paralyzed business activities at the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company PHEDC offices in Rivers State following the picketing of the company's headquarters at Moscow Road and other commercial offices across the state. Meanwhile, the National Assistant General Secretary of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Rivers State, Chris Onyeka, has defended organized labour's decision to block the corporate headquarters of the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company, PHEDC, and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC. Mr. Onyeka spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
A strong message to the federal government, to the power ministry, and to the disco for your job electricity tariff up. Because the law wants all the parties to sit down and discuss the consequences of such action. It is when we sit down and discussing the consequences, you cannot do this. The law wants us to sit down so that all the stakeholders who are going to be affected by such adjustments bring on board, we bring on table what their issues are. That is why the law made that pronouncement. And since it was not full, we were not given the opportunity to tell this the police.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
On the news, on the foreign scene, rescue crews in Mumbai, India on Tuesday deployed excavators to clear tangled metal debris in their desperate search for survivors trapped beneath a collapsed billboard. The tragic incident claimed the lives of at least 14 individuals late Monday. According to Reuters, the billboard, bigger than an Olympic-sized swimming pool, crushed a fuel station, homes and cars during a thunderstorm late Monday, trapping more than 100 people. On the news this evening, you heard Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says his administration inherited billions of naira of debts. Stakeholders are still reacting to plan by the Rivers State government to probe the Nyesom Wike's administration. Organized labor has suspended its protest over electricity tariff increase. On the foreign scene, rescuers in India are using excavator to search for survivors under fallen billboard. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. Good evening.